This is PENSDOWN, the program that engages journalists to talk about their journalism journeys, everything they went through or they go through in the line of duty, which never gets reported. I have been joined today by a colleague, Maxwell Obiri-Yeboah, who is a freelance journalist, a drone pilot, videographer, and a photographer. He has worked with a number of media houses like Top FM in Ghana, which was formerly called Top Radio, Media General Group, the Chronicle newspaper, and later Opera News Hub. That's the international online technology company. He is
Yeah,
the
creative
creative
director.
director at Kwabna Photography. Thanks for
Yes,
joining
sir.
me, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Right. How did you land in journalism? What brought you into journalism?
Okay, so right from infancy, I think I was like um right during our time it was JSS, Junior
Yes,
Secondary School.
that's right.
So yeah, I remember I think after JSS,
Mm-hmm.
when I finished with the basic education certificate examination,
Yeah.
I told myself I would want to be a journalist. And so when I went to the secondary school, that is
Mm.
SS. During that time, it
Okay.
was SS. Yes,
Yes.
I remember that I went to the what do you call it? The general arts class, and that was
Mm-hmm.
basically it. I just had this passion to join the media fraternity. So basically,
Mm.
yeah,
How long have you been in journalism altogether?
Mm, a decade. Yeah, since
Wow.
2012. Yeah, since
Mm.
2012. Yeah, since 2012. So a decade.
Will you say journalism pays? Does it pay?
uh, no, in our part of the world, I don't see that journalism pays.
Mm.
It's not something I've really experienced personally. No, I haven't
Mm.
seen that
Okay.
journalism pays. No.
Well, what would you say stands out as your most challenging assignment? Difficult or
I think,
challenging, depending on how you want to look
yeah,
at it.
yeah. I think when I was at Chronicle newspaper, I recall
Mm.
that was my first time going to report from the Parliament of Ghana.
Mm.
And then when we went there, I remember that one of my colleagues,
Mm.
Agnes was there. So um, my editor says I should go. Back in the days when I joined Chronicle, there were a number of journalists around the place. So
Mm.
at a point in time, my editor says, Maxwell, go with this lady. So I went with her, and
Mm.
we sat down for hours. At
Mm.
least I would say like 3 hours. And then everything that went on, when as soon
Mm.
as we came, our editor says I should put everything into writing.
For the entire 3 hour period?
Exactly, yes. They want to know the discussion right from inception as we entered, a vivid description. And unfortunately, he did not say it on time. So I think after 4 p.m., he says
Mm.
he needs it the following day. So let's say like 24 hours. No, it was
Yeah,
even less. I should get it
less.
like from 16 to 18 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And when you deduct the number of hours I'm going to spend on the bed, that is rest, then you realize that I have like 12 hours or less to
That's right.
produce.
Mm.
And it's a fluid discussion. It's very,
Mm.
very fluid. The minority, the majority side, you know, I mean, arguing,
Mm.
doing this, doing that, and Charlie,
Mm.
for hours. You can imagine
Mm.
for hours. So you going
Yeah.
to sit down all this time to do this, Charlie. It wasn't something that was going to be easy for me. So I think I remember that was a very hectic thing I did.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So yeah. In the end, I was able to do it. Listening to the speech and then writing everything down. And
Mm.
we did it. So when I got to the office, I remember my boss. my editor, Mr. Akli,
Mm.
Emmanuel Akli. He's still there
Yeah.
though, Mr. Emmanuel Akli. Yeah, he just stood up from his seat and said, "Chiami."
Mm.
The way, yeah, the way like I did everything, emailed it to him. So the way he looked at it, he said, "Chiami," and then it was like I felt like, oh wow, so I did it, and then I was happy. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. How has social media changed journalism?
I would say the fake news aspect.
Mm.
People not able to check facts and they
Mm.
just jump to anything. I think that in a way their inability to separate the facts from the chaff.
Mm.
Yeah, that is one
Mm.
issue that it's changing the landscape. This new media. Yeah, basically that is one thing that is really, changing the face of journalism. And then one other thing is, the new media, it's like makes everything transient. But as soon
Mm.
as it comes, it's
Mm.
it's 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 there. And then you don't need to go publish a paper or you don't need to go do this or that. I mean, the people are getting it already,
Mm.
you know. Yeah, so uh yeah, basically.
Right. Um, let's look at journalism in Ghana. It is experiencing a lot of attrition. So many trained, qualified professionals are leaving the fold in droves. I'm sure you have colleagues who have long lefts, even juniors that are nowhere to be found. What do you think is accounting for this trend?
Uh, in this 21st century, in our part of the world, and the way the world is unfolding or getting to, money drives it all.
Mm.
I mean, you can't say that you're working and let's say for months you're not being paid and you know you're still at post. I mean, it's no work. It's something different. I mean, that is no work. That is one thing that I can say that it is accounting for this kind of thing that is making people live where they are or leave their posts.
Mm.
Another thing I would say is the zeal, the passion to stay focused and to work. People are losing the passion. People are losing concentration. People are, meandering to other sectors, and that's one of those things. You need to be focused. Stand
Mm.
your ground. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. I am curious, will you describe social media as a challenge to the traditional media or an opportunity?
It should be an opportunity. I mean, it should basically be an opportunity. It depends on how you see it, and it depends on how they do it, and it depends on how they use it. But
Mm.
it should certainly be an opportunity. I mean, if they're able to use it pretty well, certainly they should reap.
Mm.
Should be an opportunity.
Mm. Is there any single individual you would have loved to interview these 10 years that you've not gotten the opportunity yet?
uh, so 2013, 2014, I traveled to the Upper East region.
Okay.
And then I still have this friend, Solomon Mensah. I mean,
Mm.
he made me love writing. He
Mm.
made me leave my place of work,
Mm.
even with a degree, to go and do what do you call it? Internship with a
Okay.
degree. Yeah, I
Wow.
resigned from where I was working on my post. I mean, Solomon Mensah is an influential figure of my life so much.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, and he likes writing.
Mm.
And he was also saying that his influence came from one guy from the Upper East region,
Okay.
Manasseh Azore
Manasseh.
Awene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love to interview that guy. I would love to interact with him, Manasseh. And
Mm-hmm.
Solomon Mensah as well. I would love to, get to. I mean, I know him very much since 2011 when
Solomon
I
Mensah,
was
is he the
still,
author of Derailed?
yes, derailed. When
Okay.
a nation loses common sense, or when common sense,
Eludes a
no, when
Nation.
common sense eludes a nation, yes. When
Yes.
common sense eludes a nation, yes. He's a powerful author. I mean, these people are just, let me write for them. They are my, one of my, they are two, my influence. Yeah, they are very good. I mean, that young man you see like that, Solomon is smart.
Mm, mm,
Manasseh is powerful.
mm,
So yeah, these two people, I would love to at least collaborate with them.
mm.
Yeah,
If you have another opportunity to choose a career, will it still be journalism?
certainly, certainly.
And your reason?
If I just love the job, I just love the job because it makes you stand out.
Mm,
Yeah, it makes you stand out, and I would say journalists are powerful people in the society.
mm,
Journalists are knowledgeable. The
mm,
field of journalism is not the child's play. It does not belong to, I mean, quote unquote kids or those with lighter
mm.
minds. No,
Yeah.
no, no. Just a white movie. I mean, you should be the kind of person with that kind of
Deep
intellect,
thinking.
deep thinking. Yes,
Yeah.
a,
Mm,
a pragmatic thinker.
mm,
I would still choose journalism, just that I would add other aspects of it. Photo, video journalism.
mm.
Yeah, I would add those aspects as well.
A lot of media houses are springing up, owned by politicians or politically exposed persons. The increasing political ownership of the media. Is trouble brewing? Do we have a reason to be worried? Is there a cause for concern?
There is a lot to be worried about.
Mm,
There is a lot to be worried about. I mean, it's making you the journalist. It's making you the one who claim to stand for the truth. I mean,
mm,
it's crazy. There is a lot to be worried about in the sense that uh, majority of those who are standing and trying to be truthful, trying their best to be there.
mm,
I mean, you
mm.
see, these people are powerful. These people,
Yeah.
they run the town.
Mm,
And so when they own media houses, like they are running the town with the money,
mm,
their influence, everything, people run to them. And in those era, in those times, people are, persuaded. People move to where the crowd is moving. Where the crowd is
mm,
moving, they are being led by the whims and caprices of these people in the sense that they have the money, they are the powerful, they are the influential people in the society. And so
mm,
if people are moving to their direction, we should be worried very much
mm.
in the sense that, I mean, we know, you and I know that these
Yeah.
people, they are capable of doing everything. They are capable of
Mm,
doing everything in society, and they will be they can do everything to hide it, and we
mm.
still praise them. Honorable, honorable, honorable. you know yeah, so there's a reason to be worried. I mean, they are practically burying the truth. They are
Mm,
burying the truth.
mm. Social media has created richer bloggers than richer journalists. How did it happen that people who were untrained in how to use media generally have become major beneficiaries of a platform that should have just been taken up by trained journalists and used for financial benefits?
I would say their influence.
Mm,
I would say their popularity.
mm,
I would say their association,
okay.
in the sense that they're equally smart people. They know what is happening on the ground,
Mm,
and so they find every way and means possible to break through. And so they do everything, to be popular, everything to stay afloat, everything to be there. And that has caused them to be who they are now. It's unfortunate that a journalist would be writing for years, and in our part of the world, it will be very difficult to even own a camera, a single camera. I mean, not the advanced one, but these minor ones. And mind you,
Standard
these
professional
bloggers,
camera.
yes, I mean, it's expensive, pretty expensive, even now, in the sense that the dollar something. And so they are combining almost everything. But majority of our people, especially the old times, they stick to the pen. Those who are to the TV are just with the TV. They hardly focus on other things. Yeah,
Yeah.
like some of us who are trying to be
Versatile.
find our way, versatile. Thank you, that's the word. So they are smart people. That's the thing. They are using, they calculate. They are smart people. So they are calculating. They see and they are investing. Mind you, they are very much investing and they are touring, going around the world, seeing places, doing this, taking these pictures. I mean, and of course, they try to break through with these hilarious and outrageous headlines, exaggerations, and what have you. So, they are using these means. Unfortunately, as a trained journalist, it's difficult for you to do such a thing. If you really stand by the truth, if you really are on guard with your soul, it will be very difficult for you to do such a thing in the sense that you are guarded by certain principles.
Yeah.
Just like a doctor. A doctor is guided to take an oath and say that you protect lives. We have sworn by our pen to always come out with the truth. And so you are standing by the truth. And mind you, those of us who are doing this, it's difficult to go by a different signal. So you are still guided by certain principles. But Charlie, they are in for the masses. They are in for the money. They are in to break the so-called news. So they do everything possible to grab attention. And that is what has made them so. So they combine everything to get there.
Right. Let's talk about Sole. What? What's your, I don't want to preempt or prejudice anything, but what's your take, your honest take on it?
It's a good thing. Solicity, I think it should be entertained. It should be there forever. In the sense that, to be honest with you, some of us, Solicity was maintaining us for so long a time until we got to a certain place that by the grace of God, they were giving us monthly salaries. That you know that, oh, Charlie, at the end of this month, this is where you get them. But back in the days, if not Solicity, people are in this town and they're still taking like 500 cedis a month.
Some are not paid at all.
Some are not paid at all.
Yeah, so
you
that
go to the place
solidarity is important.
Yes, so if it has not happened, how are they going to live their lives? I mean, in today's Ghana, and you're taking this less than 1,000 cedis. I mean, those who are taking like 4 zeros and 5 zeros are even crying. How much more you taking 3 zeros? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do with it? So, Solely, we should give way for it to stay. I mean, if not, people will be discouraged because look, people are doing so well. They are doing so very much well. But then it happens like sometimes they don't even have what it takes to get to their offices. So if they don't go in for the solicity, how are they going to do things? I mean, it's crazy. Some of us have, we have basically survived on solicity for months. Yeah.
A colleague here I hosted some time back, a Nigerian. The Indian country, they call it the brown envelope. He challenged me with a question. He looked at both sides of the coin. without taking sides. And then, like the position you have taken, he challenged me with a question that, for instance, is hunger enough justification for armed robbery? If it is not, then why should maybe the absence of salary or the presence of a meager salary be a justification for the brown envelope? In our case, solely. I'm just putting the issue in perspective for us to look at it. Does it have the power to influence the story, the angle, the amount of ink you put into the story?
Certainly. Certainly it does. At a point, yes. At a point, yes. But like you were saying, you know, there is this saying in the local parlance that "ento wada." Yeah. If certain things you've not met certain situations live and calling on the ground, sometimes you'll be easily you can easily criticize and make justifications. I don't know where he's coming from though, but I know that in Africa, I mean in Nigeria, yes, I know certain parts of Nigeria that majority of them, just like in Ghana, they are surviving basically on that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, like you said, it has the capacity, it has lots of influence in changing the angle of the story. I remember that back on campus, when I was on campus, I remember that one of our lecturers was saying that there was this journalist that, from a top media house, I mean, it was in the print media. And then this guy had a sensitive information about his boss.
Okay.
So he called this guy, and of course, it would have,
Destroy the boss.
this so much, so much. I mean, his reputation. And they called this guy back in the days and just gave him 1,000 cedis.
Which is still a
1,000
lot of
cedis.
money today.
Yes, to an extent. And then this guy, instead of going straight to the point to, criticize the man, he turned the story upside down. He mentioned the man's name, and then he placed it this way: Mr. So and so is the best boss in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
But why was it compulsory to even publish anything at all? You have been unethical by taking a bribe. Was it even compulsory to publish at all? You could have decided that then the story
Exactly.
dies a natural death.
Good. So it could be, at a point when he was narrating the story. I mean, I remember that day I was quite tired and yes, I was following all right, but I did not want to ask lots of questions and prolong his
Yeah,
narration. But
yeah.
certainly you realize that it could be that, such a sensitive issue, taking such an amount of money, certainly there may be certain terms and conditions attached to, this particular thing. And so it distorted the story. And instead of hitting him hard, he turned to praise him.
He chose to praise him without a reason.
That is it. Certainly, no, there were reasons. I mean, there were reasons. If there is money, there is a reason. Trust me. Yeah. If there is money on the table, there is certainly a reason to talk about. And certainly he will go by certain he will he's a journalist. So he knows ways and means to do his thing. Just a little interview. He will just, public just to save the face of the man. I mean, it's something simple. So yes,
Wow.
it has the capacity of influencing, where a story will come from or how things will tend to. But Charlie, uh, sometimes it's difficult to be honest with you.
But
I'm
let me
not
let
saying
me
that
add this dimension to it. Those that approach it with a sense of entitlement, such that they almost harass event organizers and demand it. Where do we place those people to?
And they are not professional journalists.
Mm.
I mean, these and Quanchen school for the those who just one day, one time, they just yeah, they just open something institute, multimedia, whatever, and they train in a matter of 6 months, 1 year, you have diploma, advanced diploma, huge,
A lot. Yes.
titles, but yet
Mm.
uh, practically when you go sit down for all these number of years, you see, I've always said that if there is a way, if there is a will, there will be a way.
Mm.
No matter how difficult the system is, certainly you get someone who will
Mm.
appreciate something good in how you are doing your thing and
Yes.
at least compensate you for something.
Mm.
Yeah, so it is not a matter of you going to demand. If I see people, yes, of course, like you're saying, many times I even saw people fighting. They were physically throwing blows because of 70 Ghana cedis. At a point, it was 150 cedis, and the last one it was I think 300 cedis.
And if you get hurt and the medication
Oh,
for your treatment
then
is
they
higher
were
than the
bad.
amount you were fighting for.
I mean, they don't really care. But in my opinion, I don't think a professional would do this. Though,
Mm.
well, we have different classes of people though, but
Mm.
you demanding makes you sound cheap.
Yeah.
I would say to the glory of God, I never demanded. I mean,
Mm.
people who knew me on the ground, they know. Yes, of
Mm.
course, I will come with my style. At least I
Mm.
will come in a certain way. And the whole thing is, if I was not invited there, I won't be there. That is me.
Mm. Mm.
You will never see me there. But when you invite me, I come there. And sometimes I make sure I take it all right, but not
Mm.
with my fist. No.
Yeah. Hmm. Let's look at your golden moments. Are there any golden moments you want to talk about? Some of the
Uh,
highest point you've enjoyed these 10 years.
yeah, yeah. I remember that I wrote an article on MyJoyOnline.com and I was
Mm.
criticizing Kennedy Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. If you recall, the MP for what do you call it? Oh, Kennedy Japan, the
Yeah.
MP. This man, if you recall, he used to talk a lot,
Yeah.
almost every issue,
Mm.
because he had a station. Yeah,
Mm.
like you were saying, because he has this media house, and
Mm.
everything is like he has a solution. Everything is like he has
Mm.
something to say, and he was ranting and talking a lot, and I just felt like, no, maybe I should write something, and at least we are human. So
Mm.
the people are singing his praise, and he feels like, yeah, he should speak. Yeah, he know them. Yeah, he has the facts. So you keep talking and you keep talking. So I just hated him hard. Then no, honorable. You may, yes, have figures, you may have facts, but Charlie, it doesn't warrant you to always come on air and just come talk plenty. The fact I did not like personally was when he was insulting certain people. I mean,
Oh,
that
yes.
was that
Yes.
was so
Mm.
crazy.
Even to
And
the point of
uh,
declaring war on live radio.
oh, I mean, we don't do this. We don't do
Mm.
this. Every patriotic citizen, I mean, it's unfortunate he belongs to, a
Mm.
party that says new patriot. They are patriotic people, but that is unpatriotic about him. That was
Mm.
those comments and those things about him were unpatriotic. So I
Mm.
remember hitting him at, and then I remember one other article I wrote, um, why I want to marry my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
you know,
That's
uh,
that's some strange headline there.
yeah. Why I want to marry my mother. And I remember, I've had quite a number of times, and
Now, this
oh
particular
no,
article about why you want to marry your mother, give us a brief about what it really spoke about before you leave anybody confused who will watch this conversation.
Okay, so it was basically trying to describe my mother.
Okay.
Yes, and her godly attitude.
Mm,
We Christians, we believe in the baptism of the Holy Spirit.
that's right.
And I remember how I got the Holy Ghost baptism.
Mm,
I was lying on her laps, and
mm,
yeah, my mom is the type who likes singing. So like it's
mm,
like a ritual in
okay.
the house
Mm,
that
mm,
yeah, we always want to
mm,
sing. Let's say after every meal.
mm,
It's either we are doing it live on our own, or let's say we are playing for a multimedia, let's say a radio or
okay.
a TV
Okay.
source or something like that in the house.
Mm, yeah.
So I remember this one was early after 12, 10, around 11 to 12 no. And
Mm,
I was singing with her and it was like a trance. I just
okay.
left the
Mm,
realms of where we were. And then I
mm,
heard like a voice telling me to sing, keep singing, keep
mm,
singing. So, I was singing and I was singing, and before I realized I was speaking in different tongues.
okay. Mm,
Yeah. So it was like when she realized that I was also singing, like I was in a different realm, she
mm,
was praying with me, with her
okay.
hand on me, that kind of,
Mm,
yeah, pushing
that's
me
right.
to come on, give it up, give it that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So before I realized, I was there.
Okay.
Then certain attitudes and characters and certain things. My mom
Mm,
is very smart, I would say.
mm,
My mom
mm,
is very, very smart. She she
mm,
she she, she listens to languages. At least
mm.
she can speak like 27 languages.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my mom is 27 languages. Yeah.
Wow.
It's yeah, two international languages. 25 of them are local and Cote
Wow.
d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso languages. So
Mm,
these attitudes and characters, at a point, my mom can have visions, then she'll be writing songs.
mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
these things, you get it. These
Yeah.
characters, these
Okay, so you
certain
were
little
looking
things.
at a
Exactly. So
future wife who will mirror the traits of your mother.
straight up, straight up.
Yeah.
So why I want to marry someone like my mother?
Mm,
But hey,
mm.
I want to let you come read. So intentionally, I twist it. Why I want to
That's
marry my
right.
mother.
I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Mm. That's interesting. But in the line of duty, was there any time somebody approached you with anything material or monetary and said, "Oh, this story you are doing, why don't you compromise the facts or even trash the story, kill the story, and take this one?" Bribery in
You
the
know,
line of duty.
no, 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 unless I don't know, but they don't come like physically to say, "Oh, Charlie,
That's
kill the
right.
story." No,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they will just find a nice way to
Mm,
use their eyes, their gestures, and their money to speak to you. That Charlie, do
mm.
this about this. But I have never experienced them telling me physically that, "Hey,
Mm,
kill the story." No,
that's right.
but some of us, yes, we took the money,
Mm.
and then we even mentioned them. These are the monies that, yeah. And my boss, Mr. Akli, will give you, he
Mm.
says, go with my word. I mean, do write the amount, do this and do that over there. So,
Wow.
yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Akli, he's that type. I mean, for that man, he is just like that. I don't
Mm.
know. He's the type that you hardly get issues about him. I mean, you may never get something to say about him. No,
That's
he has
right.
certain principles.
Mm. Mm.
So yes, he will tell you you can take the money if you want to, but make
Mm.
sure you state it
Mm.
in your writing that this person did this.
Mm.
So uh, I think it was just like a few times.
Mm.
Two of them I avoided it. The last one I took it. I brought it to my boss. We discussed it. We mentioned it in the paper.
Mm.
Yeah.
Madam, I'm curious. What if it was a setup and it was being recorded? You would have been in trouble.
We
Maybe
we we, we
at the point of receiving the money or whatever gift or whatever it was.
so at least psychologically, before we get close,
Mm,
we have to read you.
okay.
Yeah. So at least we do our best to read you. One
Mm,
and two. If you set me up, I can
mm.
I can equally set you up. Yeah, you are not smarter than I am. You can beat me. Yeah. So you set me up. I also set you up nicely.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, you set me up. I also set you up nicely. Then we will all uh,
Be in trouble
bring things
together.
out. Yes. No. You can't set me up and go scot free. Yeah. So at least we read the body language of the people.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Do you agree to calls that journalists should be licensed? Should journalists be licensed?
Journalism to be licensed. Well, maybe that'll be good. Maybe that would help us separate, the masses from the genuine ones. Maybe it will help us curb this, uncouth attitudes of some of our people out there
Mm,
and bring some sanity
mm,
in the body. But yes, it may be a good thing. It may be a good thing. But depending, I'll say the body,
mm-hmm.
the institution doing this licensure thing. I mean, we should know where they're coming from. It shouldn't be, yeah, uh,
Indeed, you
you
have
know,
just raised what a number of colleagues have also said here.
yeah.
Indeed, there is one journalist who is the head of investigation for the International Center for Investigative Reporting in Nigeria.
Okay.
He
Okay.
said that we should be extremely clear that no journalist who is part of the licensing body has any political friend.
Uh-huh.
In fact, for him, he was
Straight.
so specific about it that
Mhm.
because he says these politicians can be so smart, sometimes they
Very.
can be so unpredictable.
Yes. Yeah.
So it
Most
doesn't
of the
even
times.
surprise me that you are also raising the same thing.
We should be very mindful of the people giving this licensure thing out.
Hmm,
Else we are selling, our rights and things to people who don't even deserve to be, to monitor and
hmm.
take care of. I mean, we're all in this country and we know what is happening to, you know, anyway, yeah. So it's okay.
How many more years do you want to go before you bow out of journalism? Or are you doing this for life?
You know, I think I heard Anas Arimaya Anas say that journalism is a calling.
Mm,
Yeah, I think back in 2011,
mm,
yes, you were treating investigative reporting,
okay.
and this man came to campus to
Mm,
lecture. And as a calling, not everyone is born to be a journalist. I mean,
mm,
not
mm,
everyone can do what we do and how we do, can go by how we do it.
yeah.
So, um, some of us, will go with it for life. Not, I mean, we see that this is what we were born to do. You
Mm,
know, that we know ourselves and we know that we are supposed to be here. So it's a call for some of us.
mm.
And yeah, we gladly embrace it till that do us apart.
Let me ask you this controversial question. Somebody says journalism is not a profession. What is your take on this?
That fellow is not serious. How can you say he's not a professional? That's funny. It is a profession. So if it's not a profession, then he should give me a definition. I mean, something that will make me believe that. I mean,
Indeed,
it's funny.
let me put it in context. He was answering the question of whether journalists should be licensed. And he said that until there is some sort of licensing or regulation, journalism cannot be called a profession. And he cited several others, medicine, engineering, law, and the likes, that all of them are regulated or licensed. So journalism cannot be said to be at par with those ones, which is why to him, it is not a profession.
That's his opinion. Journalism is a profession.
Hmm.
Journalism. I mean, it's one of the best institutions, one of the best places, one of the best professions to be, like a body to belong to. To
Hmm.
me, it's a prestigious something. Like people call you a journalist. Wow. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, in a part of the society, look, we are the fourth estate of the realm.
Hmm.
And if not today, if not, I mean, the political interference and what have you that we are
Yeah.
experiencing, I mean, that kind of prestige, it comes along. Look, it's a big profession.
Hmm.
It's a big
Wow.
profession.
Let me pull the brakes here. Thanks a lot for this, my brother.
Thank you.
Right.
It's been an honor.
You're welcome. And it's uh, it's been a long time coming, but I think it's been worth it. We've waited for this for a while, and finally it's here. Thank you very much for your time and for joining me on PENSDOWN.
Thank you.
On this platform, we call it PENSDOWN because the pen represents the journalists. And this is the only platform where the journalists drop their pens and become the newsmakers rather than the news reporters or presenters. All the behind the scenes issues, this is where we talk it. It's been another edition. Thanks for your company and thanks for joining us. We'll be back again with another edition and another colleague, and we'll be talking their journalism journey. Bye for now.